Hello, my little teapods, and welcome back to another episode of the Southern Tea Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about what is a goal. Well, let's start with the definition. Of all things that I love to do, definitions is one of them. The definition of a goal is the end toward which effort is directed. That's by Merriam-Webster. I have no date for you guys. I will be linking, by the way, or including on my YouTube the scripts that I make for myself so that you can kind of follow along with this. A goal is not just a wish or a vague intention. It's a target that demands movement, structure, and commitment. Think of this. When you set a goal for yourself, you're marrying yourself. You're committing to a relationship with yourself, and you're giving yourself the permission to ultimately be faithful and loyal to you. Now, you choose, am I going to stay faithful to me? Am I going to follow through with me? Am I going to give myself the love and the effort and the care that I deserve? And am I going to teach those around me how that I want to be treated? Or am I going to be disloyal and say that I'm going to do something, but then break my own promises to myself? That's a little awkward, huh? That says so much about your character. So that commitment part of the goal, it is huge. Now, a goal lives in the spaces between thought, creativity, motivation, dedication, action, and follow through. There's so many aspects of all of those words. You're going to have a thought. Me, I love podcasts, and I wanted to have a podcast one day. It was a thought. I'm creative. So, planning is great. This is where we're going to go into thought. I thought about starting my podcast. Actually, it was last December, but I had to have surgery. A part of that surgery, my voice was kind of not holding out quite well because they had to go in through the front of my throat. And so it put me back a little bit. And then I was just kind of like, well, what do I want my content and my following to be like? How do I want this to, like, who do I want this to target? And then I was like, anybody and everybody, come on in. Hey, y'all, come on in. I don't mind anyone and everyone. That was the thought process at that point, because there's so much creativity that I want to share with the world. And there's so much that it almost became decision fatigue at a certain point. And then someone asked me, they're like, well, why haven't you started? And I was like, great question. It's a really great question. And I sat there and I went home and I recorded the first episode. At a certain point, you have to get all of that out of your head and onto paper. You have to make it no longer a daydream. You have to stop having a fear of failure or a fear of success and just start. Because sometimes, and oftentimes, it's not the fear of failure that people have. We're human. We fail all the time. We're not scared of failure. I go to say that a lot of people who say that they're afraid of failing don't even understand the actual psychology behind the fear of failure. They're afraid of succeeding, and they're sabotaging themselves to not succeed by not even starting. Fear of success, what can go right, what can be great for me, what can elevate me, because we fail all the time. We're human. That is something people are used to. People are just, you're gonna fail 100 times to succeed the one. It is what it is. It is a part of success to fail forward. If everyone quit before they started who are successes, there would not be a single successful story. And if everyone who failed never continued to fail forward to success and then start all over again. If they continued to be discouraged, as they had to start all the way over again at square one of failure, 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 success, failure, 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 success, and continuing and continuing and continuing. It's the same way with working out. When you exercise, you're going to muscle failure so that you can have the success of being able to hit that higher weight the next time, so that you can go into muscle failure to hit a higher weight the next time. So you're literally failing to succeed, failing to succeed, and failing to succeed. It's what life is. You just got to keep getting back up. That's the resiliency factor. So drop your fear of success. It's not a fear of failure. It really isn't. I think that everyone have pretty well come to terms in our society with fear of failure, and that's no longer the fear. It's the fear of success at this point. Start moving. And I will pause. If you are afraid of failure, that is valid. It's valid. We wake up in the morning, we all roll out of bed, and we all do certain things to get ready every day. We're human. We all bleed red. So fear of failure, that one, it's a valid one. A lot of times is a fear of success in people. Failure's easy. We all do it all the time in so many ways. Okay, start moving, start building, and start becoming. Just start. Start somewhere. There was that aspect of things too, where it's like, what about being a digital creator? Like, is that gonna scare you? No, that's not the part that I was really thinking about at all. Success. People can be beautiful and wonderful and fantastic and so complex. That is what we all hone into. And as soon as I sat back and I was like, I want to put myself on that pedestal because of this one thing. So yeah, that one thing being X, Y, or Z, right? So I think that to project out there to you guys, for me, it was just sitting there going, well, what is the reason why I didn't want to start? It wasn't anything to do with being other than I just hadn't. It was just time. So my goal now is no longer a goal, but it is becoming a accomplishment. Now it goes beyond motivation and into dedication. Like whenever you set a goal, and this is not just like, and I'm using this podcast as an example just because like I did have a little bit of like a setback. So I'm over here, I'm like, it is what it is. You go beyond motivation and into dedication. It's going to be that hard work, the boring work, the tiring work, and dedication to that goal. It is the goal itself. It's to your creativity, to your potential. Motivation is just a mood. Dedication is the character. It's who you are. It's the part of us that we chronically tap into, the part that drives accomplishments when the mood is just nowhere to be found. There's some days you're going to wake up and just be like, nah, fam, I'm not in the life mood for this. And truly, like, if you're not in the headspace for something, that's okay. Take a self-care day. You can't take care of others unless you take care of yourself. It's the plane crashing theory of you have to put your oxygen mask on to be able to take care of others. Like, you can't help anyone unless you help yourself. That's understandable. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I love you more than to quit on you. Here's what's happening neurologically. When we take intentional steps towards a goal, we activate strengthen neural pathways associated with self-regulation and social communication. Repetition reinforces these pathways, making the behavior more automatic and accessible over time. when we take intentional steps towards a goal, especially through repetition and strategic framing, we activate neural circuits responsible for planning, motivation, behavioral regulation. Over time, it becomes more efficient, making the goal directed behavior more automatic and resilient, even when distractions or fatigue set in. So the repetition reinforcement, first part of that is Rizzolotti and Craig Hero 2004. Second half of that is Gallo et al. 2013. So in other words, every time you show up for yourself, even when it's hard, you're literally rewiring your brain to support the goal. So every time that you just do it, your brain is saying, "Oh yeah, like you right. This is exactly what I need to be doing." It's proven that 21 days, it takes 21 days to form a habit or to break a habit. So when you're rewiring those neural pathways, that's exactly what's happening, is forming or breaking a habit. But that neural pathway is what is going on in your body. It's formulating, rewiring, and adjusting to whatever you are or are not doing. What is a goal? It's not just a destination, it's a decision, it's a commitment, a quiet promise to yourself that you'll show up even when it's hard, even when it's dull, even when no one's watching. Goals don't ask for perfection, they ask for presence. Be present for yourself. You are a gift, my dear. And when we dedicate ourselves not just to the outcome, but to the process, we stop chasing and start becoming. So today, ask yourself, what are you willing to dedicate yourself to? Because that's where real transformation begins. I'm going to list my notes in the description. I do want to let you guys know that I'm partnered, ambassador, whatever that is called, with Comfort Brand. Go on to comfortfrt.com/Southern Tea Pod to get your 15% off discount code. Bada bing, bada bam. And like, subscribe, follow, hang out on Patreon, comment or DM. Let me know what you guys want to hear next. Disclaimers, love them. Any and all opinions within these podcasts, they are simply that. They're my opinions. I am a content creator. That's it. I'm creative. Anything that resembles anything to do with reality or real situations or anything like that, it's circumstantial. Don't get it twisted. It's all content creation. Every last episode that I have done or will possibly do as of right now in my plans, unless somebody decides to come on here and we just do a little fun interview, chit chat, patty whack, throw a dog a bone. Essentially, it's my personal views, it's my personal stance, and all content's alleged. So I wanted to throw all of that out there for you all, that I am just simply, I'm just a girl in the world that's doing weird stuff. Oh, I gotta bleep that out now. I did so well this entire episode. And now I gotta bleep that out. Okay. So there's that. Maybe I'll just fade it out. So how did that disclaimer go again? It's like, everything's alleged. Uh, it's not real. I made it all up. It's for content creation and entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. That's the one that I was looking for. All of this shenanigans is for entertainment purposes only. All right, like, comment, subscribe, whatever. You do you, boo. I'll see you hopefully in the comments. Don't be weird or be weird is what it is. I have editing to do on this one, and I am not doing another take. Yeah, edit. Gonna have to edit.